You've probably seen the headlines about AI, right? The viral stunts, the robot dogs, the kind of scary predictions. But there's this massive AI story unfolding right now, and it's happening almost under the radar. So today we're going to go way beyond the usual buzz and take a deep dive into India's really unique game plan for artificial intelligence.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about why the flashy and, let's be honest, often silly stories are the only ones that seem to get any attention. Then, we'll get into the real heart of India's strategy, a blueprint that's all about putting people first. After that, we'll check out the incredible tech that's being built, see how it's actually affecting communities, and finally, look at how this whole approach is starting to change the global conversation around AI.
Okay, let's just jump right in. To really get what's going on, you've got to picture this recent tech summit. So on the main floor, you've got this flashy robot dog doing tricks for the cameras. Total spectacle. But a few rooms over, a team of engineers is quietly training this revolutionary new AI that understands 22 different Indian languages.
Now take a wild guess which one you saw on social media. Yeah, of course, it was the robot dog tripping over its own feet. I mean, millions of views for a quick blooper. But that amazing breakthrough AI? You probably heard nothing. Crickets. And this huge gap, this canyon between the spectacle and the real substance, that's where the problem really starts.
You know, there's actually a name for this whole phenomenon, where the viral noise just completely drowns out the important stuff. It's called the vector trap. It's this quiet but super powerful bias where all our online chatter, what we click on, what we share, is basically teaching AI models to fixate on the junk food of the internet. Think of it this way. If you only ever feed a kid candy, they're going to think that's all food is. Well, right now we're feeding our AIs a diet of digital candy, and it is seriously messing with their view of the world.
So how does this trap actually work? Well, it's a pretty nasty cycle. First, ingest. AI scrapers just hoover up everything with a trending hashtag. Then, rank. All our likes and shares are basically treated as votes for what's high quality, even when it's just a funny meme. Third, embed. The AI's brain starts lumping all this sensational stuff together. So when you ask it a question, that's the retrieve step, it immediately runs to the loudest, most viral cluster of info first. And finally, amplify. Every single time an AI uses that meme as an answer, it reinforces its own importance. It's a feedback loop that slowly poisons the AI's grip on what's real.
So, if that's the problem, what on earth is the solution? How does a whole country build AI on its own terms and avoid this trap? Well, for India, it all starts with this really powerful five-pillar doctrine that's designed to put humans right back in the driver's seat.
And the entire philosophy is built around one single powerful Hindi word, Manav. It literally means human. And this one word, it acts as the North Star for every single AI model, every data set, every single thing they do.
Each letter in Manav stands for a core principle. The AI has to be M, moral and ethical. Its governance needs to be accountable. It has to respect N, national sovereignty while protecting citizen data rights. It's got to be A, accessible and inclusive for everyone. And finally, it has to be V, valid and legitimate. It's like a 5-point safety harness for every piece of AI they build.
And look, this isn't just a bunch of abstract ideas on a slide. These pillars are being turned into real-world policies and tools. The moral pillar, that leads to actual fairness audits to get bias out of education apps. Accountable? That means creating a digital watchdog so people can report AI discrimination. National sovereignty? That gives people a data padlock to control their own info. Accessibility means AI has to work in local languages. And valid means they're building test beds to make sure AI companies are actually selling what they claim to be selling. This is ethics in action.
Okay, so with that ethical compass locked in, let's get to the fun part, the engine they're building. The sheer scale of the technology being developed here from scratch is it's mind-blowing. The big focus is on something called sovereign AI. Now, this isn't about cutting themselves off from the world. It's all about ownership. It means the core technology reflects the local culture, and its rules align with the nation's values, not with the profit motives of some company thousands of miles away. And this has led to a straight-up explosion of homegrown AI models built by Indians for India. We're talking about specific models like Bharat Gen Parm 2, which gets the subtle differences between 22 Indian languages, or Drishti 7B, which can spot diseases in eye scans, or even Vakya 5B, which can summarize super complex court cases. These are custom-built tools for very specific Indian challenges. So what's powering all this? A massive push for infrastructure. India is buying 20,000 new top-of-the-line GPUs.
You know, those are the special computer chips that are the real engines behind modern AI. Just to give you a sense of scale, that is enough raw computing power to train 3 or 4 gigantic world-class AI models, like the kind of power ChatGPT, all at the same time. It's huge.
And you know, this sovereign push has definitely not gone unnoticed. It's attracting a tidal wave of global investment. I'm talking about the big players, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI. They aren't just selling their products in India. They're actually co-creating inside this new ecosystem, pouring in billions of dollars.
But here's the part that really gets me. This is the core of the strategy. All of this incredible world-class computing power, they're making it available to startups for about 65 rupees, which is less than $1 per hour. So they're not just building the tech, they're making sure everyone can get their hands on it.
So, this is the really critical question, right? You've got all this powerful tech, all this money pouring in, but what does it actually do for a regular person just trying to live their life?
Well, the impact is real, and it's everywhere. In education, there's a free AI mentor app called Sathi that's helping millions of students. In healthcare, where doctors can be hard to find, AI diagnostics are popping up in rural clinics. And for farmers, a simple WhatsApp bot can now look at a photo of a leaf and diagnose a crop disease, which can literally save an entire year's harvest.
And the benefits are felt on such a human level. I mean, listen to this quote. It's from a visually impaired lawyer who used an AI tool to summarize documents, which allowed her to double her caseload. It's not just about being more efficient. It's about empowerment. It's about giving people back their time, their jobs, their weekends.
Okay, let's get to the last piece of this puzzle and see how this amazing domestic strategy is now being scaled up into a vision for global leadership.
So India is now taking everything it's learned at home and turning it into a global framework. It's called the New Delhi Declaration, and 86 nations have already signed on. It's basically a template for doing AI inclusively. It pushes for a balance between universal ethics and local culture. It creates shared data for research, and this part is so cool. It even sets up a GPU solidarity pool to give developing countries access to the high-powered computers they need to build their own sovereign AI. Which brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? Back to the vector trap. The stuff we post online, the stories we choose to amplify, it's not just noise. We are actively, right now, teaching these AIs how to see our world. The vector trap isn't some abstract threat in the future, it's a reality we are building with every single click.
So as we wrap this up, the question isn't really just about India's AI strategy. It's about our own. The vector starts with us. We are what we feed the AI. So I guess the question I want to leave you with is this. What story are you choosing to tell our new artificial minds about your community, your breakthroughs, and your world?